I said go after I press record. Hello everyone. That's a great intro. Welcome back to the fourth part, final part probably, of Dungeons and Dragons with Thorin, our evil, well,
Well,
psychopathic
psychopathic.
priest of war in Ranth. At the moment he's travelling along the Nardi River towards Valowar in pursuit of Martian from our other campaign. Now, on so you set off in the morning on the river, and it's you're getting through the winter now. It's pretty past it. It's still winter, but on the end of it, I guess. Well, maybe not. Probably just going into the middle, and but the river doesn't freeze over or anything, but it's pretty chilly. Oh fuck! Just thought of something. No, I don't have to. And on the morning of the second day of travel, of which there are 5, you hear a loud chittering, and all the people on the boat, like the barge pole is pulled up, and all the people on the boat go to the side.
How far are we along the river? Just put it into perspective.
If it's 5 days journey, okay, give me your token. I'll do this.
About here,
Hold on.
maybe a
Need
little
to
bit
see
further.
how long it is. Da-da-da-da-da. Yeah, you can only do this with tokens for. It's 230 miles divided by 5.
40 miles, 50 miles.
Yeah, so you're like
Here.
there on the river.
Cool.
At this point in the morning of the second day. And on your right, you see the farmlands have given away across. I mean, there is a bit of tree covered in kind of greenery right next to the river, but you can see over past it what time you can see past the trains. The flat lands have remained flat, and gone are the fields of Merowar, Merowayne. I can't even say my own fucking country's name. And it's just grasslands, though. Yellow grass at this time of year, as far as I can see, into the
And I can hear chittering.
Yes, chittering.
I shout to the captain what the noise is.
I mean, it's not really a captain. It's
Well,
only 3 people on the boat, but there is a guy, I guess you could say, is in charge. I mean, they're all like they're brothers. If you'd cared to ask, but you haven't. And he says, "Come look at this dwarf.
I walk over to where they are.
They're in the water. There are 2. Does it say how big they are? No. Great. There are 2 giant otters. Oh yes, 15 feet long.
Holy shit!
There are
Big
2.
otter.
Yeah, big fucking, almost as long as a barge. Ships in the sea. Barge. Longer width than your barge. And there's 2 of them, and they're playing together, and there are smaller otters around them. It's very cute and adorable, even though these are huge fucking creatures.
I asked them if they're dangerous.
The barman says, you don't see them often, but from what I've known, they're a symbol of good luck. I can't imagine dangerous creatures would be a symbol of good luck. And he's like whispering, and the barge is like stopped, and they're all watching 3 grown men.
In my experience, we make our own luck. And
Can see why
I watch them for a bit, but go back to sitting wherever I was sitting.
Okay. After 10 minutes or so, the otters dive under the river, and that's the encounter.
Nice. Giant otters.
Right.
I like
Yeah.
that.
Just by the way, their pelts were worth 1,000 to 4,000 gold pieces.
I'm not fighting a 15-foot otter.
I know, and you wouldn't know that
river.
either. I was just mentioning it because I read it on the Wizard Radio. Just thought I'd tell
Nice.
you. And yeah, you sail away, and those otters would go on to have many happy children. No Thorin to destroy them and stuff.
No.
Let's see. Forest now. Yeah, so you make it. You know, you on the east of your boat, north and east, is the swamp, marshy land. So the river kind of doesn't have an end on the left. It just goes to like boggy territory,
Hmm.
and all the time you steer on the right. I mean, the barge is always kept to the right of the shore. Um, yeah, and on the second day, the rest of the second day, nothing else happens. You reach, if you know, as you get to about there, you can see in the distance the forest of quite tall trees, but not like huge trees.
Yeah,
And most of them are dead during the winter, and there's occasionally brackens of evergreen
cool.
clumps. But yeah, third day then.
Yep, I'm keeping to myself. I'm spending most of my day in prayer. The tattoo's no longer
Mm,
festering and horrible, and it's not, the pain hasn't subsided. It's always there, but because I haven't killed a person, I've killed a giant toad. It's not quite the same.
yeah,
So I haven't been in battle as such.
yeah,
So it's still sore, but the scarring and the cut and all the rest
that's
of it's
fine. Yeah.
gone.
Okay. Um, as you sail past the forest, um, again, the men of the boat you point and talk about stuff on the right. I mean, I guess if you're like sitting out on deck and looking out over the river, imagine you see there are some centaurs in the forest. They're just going about walking past. They
Just
don't,
chilling.
yeah, they don't hail you or anything. Says, "Do look, there's interesting centaurs," and they're like, "Oh wow, what a journey this is! Blessed with luck."
Hmm.
It's almost like there's nothing gonna happen
So it would seem.
on these D10s, man. Yeah, and on the third day you get further up, and the bog starts receding. Um, and here you've got your small forest on the right, and then I mean it's not right up pressed against the river, but the river's starting to widen a bit. So yeah, it is. The river's starting to widen and open up to be a couple of 100 feet across, um, maybe even 500. And on the edge, there's starting to be like mangrove trees, um, and the trees on that side are towering, and it's dark inside under the leaves, and you just get this order of danger, and you again you steer far in the right of the river, and the men whisper about the wildlands. It's a thick jungle, and it seems to be teeming with life, ignoring the weather. You see like crocodiles on that side of the river and shit.
Sweet.
Um,
I watched that side of the river. That's what I'm looking at. I'm not interested in the small forest. I'm more interested in the danger.
yeah, you see. I mean, you don't spot anything. You just see like occasionally you'll see like a giant crab sitting on the other side of the river, or the carcass of a huge boar that's bigger than the barge. What you assume to be a boar because it's got giant tusks.
Yeah, could be an elephant.
Yeah. Um, and you get yeah, and then you get to Valawar without anything happening on any of those days. Excitingly. Oh, you died.
I died again.
Oh,
Yeah, sorry.
okay. Woo. So on as you're finally getting into Valawar, you see Valawar in the rise, and the river starts becoming busier.
Mhm. Okay.
Something happens.
All right.
You actually get an encounter for the first time.
Yay.
DM special. Great. Great. What does that mean? Does that mean I get to choose?
Might be one of your pre-planned things. That's what it means.
I don't think so, because it has another, and then there's a DM special table.
Ah.
But not in this one for some reason. DM special table. Cold or temperate regions. Guess this is kind of temperate.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Let's see what this is. Oh, what? That's lame as fuck. Okay, nothing happens.
Oh,
Get into,
what?
get into Valar without any events happening along the road apart from seeing giant otters and centaurs and
You're echoing again.
should all mute. It's stupid and stuff like that.
I think it's whenever someone else joins, it goes back to how it's.
I think it's because it turns my camera off every time you leave, and then when you join, it returns on.
Ah.
And the barge pulls into the teeming, bustling docks of Valuar, and this is filled with boats, huge. We're not talking seagoing vessels, but yeah, coastal vessels, because the river is huge at this point, miles wide, like the Amazon. And
Mhm.
as you step off the barge onto the dock, you are surrounded by the cacophony of voices. It's about mid-afternoon of the fifth day. There are languages you don't understand. There are orcs and goblins and gnolls and elves and humans and gnomes and halflings and all variety of races all
And
around you.
dwarfs?
Occasionally dwarfs, but not as many dwarfs. Dwarfs aren't a seafaring race as much.
That's a fair point.
But yeah, you do see dwarf. They're. It's not like this. It's just dwarfs are rare and hard to spot, but you do see dwarfs. And you hear languages being shouted and you don't understand, and it's really bustling, and you can see on the far right, past all the large ships, because all the barges get in straight away and tucked in before the rest of the dock really steps out into the river.
Hmm.
Because you don't want to get crushed by a huge galley sailing past or something.
No.
You see a huge wooden wall that towers like 50 feet. No, how many stories is 50 feet?
Um, you're talking maybe 12 feet a story,
10 feet in a story.
10 feet in a story.
Okay, then it's more than that. It's like 8 foot tall. 80 foot tall.
Okay.
It's really towering above the rest of the city, and it's only lining. So from like here to here. You see that on the map
Hmm.
behind it?
Yep.
There's a wall stretching from there to there against the wildlands. And there's like
So from river to river.
yeah. And you can see that. That's kind of the central feature of the town, and it's a big packed town. There's all sorts of it's a merchant district, there's noble districts, there's slums, stone buildings, wooden buildings, all sorts. Welcome to Valuar, says the guy as you step off the boat. And then he starts unloading cast and doesn't talk to you since you've not got on with him.
Despite not talking to them, I thank them for the passage.
They nod.
And
They say
I stride out and
there have been worse passengers than you, at least.
I stride out into the city, I assume.
Yep.
And I look for, like, the maps that they have in shopping centres
Yeah.
with the "you are here" and then a list of everything. I kind of look for something like that, or a herald, or a.
There is no info desk, unfortunately, but
Damn.
there is a notice board. Can you read?
Yes, I can read and write.
Okay, good.
I'm a priest. Of course, I can read and write.
Just checking. In common, I presume, yeah. Common
and Dwarven. Well, it doesn't specifically say. I just have reading and writing. But I assume I'd be able to do both.
Technically, it's got to be like one bit, whatever. Yeah, sure, both.
Well, I'd imagine I can. Well,
I'm
no,
just gonna say
because
it's both.
dwarves
Still.
are runes rather than words, so I'd imagine it'd be common that I can read and write.
That's true.
So I don't have
I'll
knowledge
just
of
let
runes.
you speak both. Doesn't matter.
Cool. Yeah, I have a read of the notice board and see if anything catches my eye.
I know it's completely irrelevant to you. There's nothing that strikes out as being Martin put this notice up for looking for other evil people to murder.
Yeah.
Say that in her.
Is there anything regarding like the districts of the city? Because it's split into the Elven Quarter and the Dwarven Quarter and the.
No, this city's
human
quite mixed. It's mostly by class rather than race.
Okay.
You can I don't know if you talk to people or something. Tell you from that. Well,
Are
I
there
mean,
any
there's references to
dwarves
quarters and
nearby?
stuff. Give me a perception check. I mean, this is a really thick, bustling place. There's ships, there's loud noises. You don't see
50.
any dwarfs.
Okay. I want to go to the nearest bar then. Give
Okay,
myself a
there
bar.
are a lot of near bars.
Um,
They're all of various qualities.
I want to go to a like mid-range quality
Okay.
with a door that's slightly shorter than the rest.
Um. Okay. You go for you go for like as you're approaching it, you see that this isn't specifically for dwarfs. It's actually halfling themed. But
Okay.
you assume that, I mean, you could guess that dwarfs would go here too. But it's just like on the front is a merry old halfling on the symbol, and it's called the merry halfling. Woo!
Well, if nothing else, they'll have chairs that are the right
Yeah,
height.
that's true.
So yeah, I want to go into the halfling bar then.
Yeah, you see gnomes, halflings, dwarfs, and even some goblins. I
Oh,
think goblins are short enough.
I want to go up to the innkeeper. I'm assuming the innkeeper's a halfling by the
Yes.
sign.
No, he's a giant.
um,
Yeah, he's a halfling.
I want to introduce myself as
Portly
Thorin.
halfling. Says, "What can I get for you, traveller?" No, we already did an Irish guy.
We don't want to do Irish halflings. That's
Ah,
yeah. It's close to
leprechaun.
the bone, Ross.
He
um,
says, yeah.
yeah, I ask him for a pint of strong ale or a flask of strong ale.
He says, "Will that be dwarven?"
That would be dwarven.
Right, and he gets you some proper dwarven ale, and you can recognise it. And he asks you for like
Sweet.
3 silver pieces or something.
And how much
Quite
for
expensive.
lodgings?
4. No, that doesn't
It's
make
four
sense.
silver.
How would? Well, yeah, okay. Dwarven ale's like shipped in, especially for. Okay, so 1 silver for the beer, 4 silver for lodgings.
I give him a gold. Well, I give him a few gold, 3 or 4 gold,
Okay,
and tell him to keep the keep the beers coming, and I'll be staying here for a couple of days.
he says no
Say, give
problem.
him four gold.
Tells you where your room is and stuff.
Um,
He says,
I look around the.
He asks if you're new in town.
I am. I've just arrived from the south.
First time in Valuar.
It is indeed.
It's a hell of a place. I'm glad to call it home. Now.
Now the crest that I have on my armor
Yeah.
is
Are you
how well.
broadly showing this everywhere you go?
Yeah,
Okay.
openly. I'm not hiding it. I'm not a sneaky man. I'm very forthright about who I am. I ask
Man,
him.
that's going to be great for finding out things. Oh, look, it's a ranty guard, everyone fun guy.
Well, actually, yeah, that's a fair point. Now I know that I'm on.
I mean, I thought you'd have covered it up coming into the city when you're scouting.
Yeah, Yeah, it's going to be covered under a cloak or a
What
or
type armor do
something.
you wear?
I wear hide armor.
Okay, so is it marked into your hide or is it a halberd, scabbard? What's it?
Tabard.
Tabard. That's it. So yeah, I guess you can just take off
Um,
your tabard.
well, yeah, okay, yes, I'll take off the tabard, so I
Yep.
don't have it showing. The only symbol I have on me now is my tattoo, which I'm gonna have covered. I'm gonna have I don't know, a scrap of cloth tied. Well, yeah, but the tattoo is gonna be like that big on the forearm,
Ah, I see.
like the whole
Okay,
way up the forearm,
fair enough.
or a big chunk of it. So it's gonna have I'm just gonna have a bit of cloth wrapped around my forearm or something like that, so it's covered.
Sure.
And yeah, I want to look around the room, and is there a group of dwarfs specifically sitting at a table?
Yeah, there's some dwarfs sitting with other people, and there's dwarfs sitting at a table together.
I want to approach one of the groups of dwarfs.
There's only one group of dwarfs.
All right, I want to approach the group of dwarfs.
Okay.
Introduce myself. I mean, I'll know dwarven etiquette, so
Yeah.
just to introduce myself and do as dwarfs do when they introduce each other.
Roll a charisma check.
Uh,
It's going to use this for how they're actually pretty closed off, and they seem to be giving you the cold shoulder a little, and they want to like talk amongst themselves. I mean, they aren't like
Right.
being completely rude to your face, but they're just, they don't seem.
I'm
Oh,
not
come
openly
join us,
inclusive.
brother. Da, 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 da,
Right.
da, da.
Um, I want to apologise for interrupting them if they're having an evening as friends.
Yeah.
But I want to ask them if there is a dwarven armourer in town.
When I was like, can't you see we're having some fun, lad? Aye, you can go see Thorin. No, joking. You can go see dwarf random name generator. So good to have this thing that fucking generates it for you. You can go
Yeah.
see. Those are lame names. Durin. Go see Durin
Durin.
from The Hobbit. Go see him.
Um, where is again? I apologise for interrupting you. I won't bother you much longer. Where is Durin in the city?
For God's sake, what is this? Ah, Jesus!
Apologies, I'm new. I'm new in town.
And he.
Um,
I guess we've all been new in town once. And he gives you directions to Durin's place. He says, you just go down to the merchant's quarter, and then if you take up, blah blah blah.
yeah, I'll figure it out. Thanks very much. I go and sit on my own, just and drink my beer.
Okay.
And see if anything happens, if anyone approaches or anything like that.
A little on into the night, a gnome approaches you and pulls up at your table, and he says, "Don't mind if I take a seat?
Of course not.
Can tell your noontime.
I've just arrived.
Would you be looking to pay for a guide of sorts?"
How do you mean guide? A guide of where?
You tell me where you want to go, places you want to see. I can show you all the wonders of this town. What it has to offer that might not be immediately apparent.
What does he look? Does he look? I mean, my knowledge of gnomes won't be that well. Is there gnomes in the holy state of the Ranthic Order?
They are not. There are.
Right.
You, yeah, you probably wouldn't have seen a gnome before you got to this city. The Ranthic Order, there are gnomes. They're not gnomes. They're dwarfs, humans, no elves, and like half orc race or something.
Half orcs and orcs, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Okay. I ask him. I put a couple of gold on the table
Okay.
and ask him.
He's like
I'm not
slides
looking
it
to.
immediately into his pocket.
I'm not looking to go anywhere, friend. But I may be looking for some information.
Okay. And he leans in closer, very conspiratorially, and he's sipping his drink, which is like much weaker than yours. And he says,
Mhm.
What sort of information are we talking here?
I'm looking for someone else who's just arrived in the last few weeks.
This is a busy city. They'll be hard pressed unless there's something seriously specific about them.
Well, you seem to recognise newcomers pretty quickly. I reckon you keep your eye open for a few things.
I watch the docks and I see someone struggling. I'm always happy to lend a hand. Completely charitable, like.
My friend, the friend I'm looking for. We were split up in our travels. I was gravely injured. A couple of months ago, and I've been trying to catch up to him since. I believe he arrived in Valwar in the last few weeks. He is like myself. He has only one good eye.
So I can't say I've seen anyone like that. Sorry, friend. Could ask around, but
If you could, that would be much
I mean,
appreciated.
a silver eye is pretty noticeable. So
No, he doesn't have a silver eye. Mine is silver due to childhood affliction. He just doesn't have an eye. He lost his eye in combat. He wears an eye patch.
He doesn't.
I thought he did.
He does.
All right. Okay. Sorry, I was going by the
Did I,
description.
did I say you were an eye patch?
I thought Gabriel said he had an
Oh
eye patch.
well, I was wrong then.
Oh, sorry, that might be just me making an
No,
assumption.
probably I did say that, but I remember Thomas specifically. I was like, "So you wear an eye patch?" And he's like, "No, just show everyone the gaping hole where
Right.
mine used to be." And I'm like,
Um,
"Okay, that really helps your charisma out."
I give him a brief description of from
Okay.
what Gabriel told me, so it's probably not a very accurate description, but it's distinguishing features. So I know he's blonde, he's got one eye, and he carries a warhammer. And I assume him to be armored.
Okay.
So I give a brief description, try and pass it off as in I'm trying to find my
Yep.
friend,
Roll
and I
charisma
give him
check.
another. Uh, 24
Okay,
partial. I slip him another 3 gold,
Pockets it again. He seems pretty happy. He says
and
he'll
I tell
do his
him.
best job, and if there's anything else you need him for, he'll be happy to help.
I let him know that I'll be staying here. Or you can find. I will be dropping in here to get information if I do move. So if you have anything for me, I'm going to speak with the barkeep. You can notify him, and he'll let you know. I'm assuming you frequent the bar often, and he knows you.
Yeah, and he goes to shake your hand. He says, "What's your name?"
My
I'll tell
name
your friend.
is.
If I find him, I'll tell him you're looking for him.
Um, I'm trying to think of another dwarf name. I'm not going to give him a real name. Dwarven
Here, there you go.
generator.
Like a link to it in Roll20.
I've got it here. Yeah, I'm going to give him a fake name though, and tell him that I'll be dropping in here.
Okay, well we can cover the fake name there. It doesn't matter.
Yes.
He says his name is.
My name is Ragnar.
Ragnar. Pleasure to meet you, Ragnar. I go by Hopeful.
Hopeful.
Hopeful's the name.
As I said.
Also make a charisma check.
Oh, okay. 26.
Yep, he believes that's your name.
Nice. So I'm pretty. I pass that off as my name and ask him to keep it as discreet as possible, and there'll be more gold if he can bring me further information.
He asks you if you're sure there's nowhere he can take you or anything else he can do for you. Nothing you're looking for in town apart from your friend.
I'm looking for
make some innuendos about dwarven brothels or something.
I've already got instructions to find Durin the armorsmith.
I know Durin. Good.
And I think I'm going to figure out the city for myself. I mean, how would I get to the keep or the Lord's Manor from here?
And he says it's like pretty big and obvious, but he doesn't know that you'll be allowed to just stroll through without any passage or info. Most people, where he says, so you gotta go through the noble district, and there's always guards kicking us folk out. As lesser folk.
I'm friendly with a lord in another city who's given me passage to speak to the lord here.
Perhaps it shouldn't have been so presumptuous.
Well, I thank you for your time and any information you can get. As I said, there'll be more gold for more information.
So you give him 7 gold, right?
Yes, I give him 7 gold total. So I'm now down at 40 gold.
He says he'll get work to immediately and put the name out that Ragnar's looking for.
Well, I know Martin's name, don't I? I know Gabriel told me his name.
Yeah, did you say Martin to him?
Yeah, I tell him that I'm looking. The man is called Martin.
Okay.
But I ask him if you do find him, and he's in town. Don't let him know I'm here. It's just that's not what I'm trying to say. Is don't approach him. Just let him know. Just let me know he's here, and I'll find him myself.
Roll
He doesn't
charisma.
take kindly. He doesn't take kindly to strangers. 23.
He says
So,
he seems to nod along with you as we say that, and he says, "Okay, okay, I'll make sure to do that. I'll make sure to tell my people to do that if we find him."
as I said, he tends to keep himself to himself. He's
Sounds
not
like it'll be
particularly fond of
easy
strangers.
enough to spot. This is a big city. Could you tell what how wealthy he is? Where he'd usually stay? Highborn.
Um, he's not highborn, but he's got a reasonable amount of wealth. And certainly he is a charming man. He can talk himself into anywhere.
Thanks for letting us know. We'll put the word out.
Thank you very much, Hopeful.
He finishes his drink and leaves the bar.
Okay, I stayed downstairs for another couple of drinks, as much as the barman's serving me, and then I
Yep.
go up to my room.
Okay.
Smoke quick prayer before.
Actually. I mean, the drinks do way more for you than you've had for a while since you've been out of dwarven lands. You actually feel them do shit.
As soon as I start to feel a little bit of an effect of them, I cut myself off and I go upstairs.
Okay. Yep.
And I
It's a nice room.
say
Fairly
quick
nice.
prayer.
Very. You haven't slept in a bed you're made for you either. I mean, you're feeling very reminiscent right now.
Nice. I have dinner and such as downstairs, and then have a quick prayer before bed, and then go to bed.
Yeah. Okay. That happens. Morning arises.
Morning prayers. I want to take. Cure Light Wounds. I want to take Detect Evil and Detect Good as well.
Interesting choices.
Today I'm going to go and get some information.
I feel like I'm gonna have to go read this spells now.
I think it's just if it's successful, I can tell someone's alignment based on the level of success. Tells me whether it's neutral, true, or lawful, or chaotic. I think.
Oh yeah, 10% chance. That's right.
10% chance.
I tried to use this in the
Terras, yeah.
youtube.com/Gilmaris. Go check that out as well.
I'm gonna wake up in the morning, say my prayers, select my spells, get myself ready for the day, make sure my symbol of arm's covered. I'm not wearing my tabard.
Okay.
And I head off towards the armor smith.
You get
The
there
dwarven armor smith.
without event.
I knock on the door and head inside. So he's got a big open
Big forge
of fire,
inside.
big
Yep.
forge. Well met. I believe it's Durin.
Well met, dwarf. Strail's back. Damn it. He should have been called Strail.
My name is Ragnar. I'm new in town. I'm renowned as an armor smith. I've heard stories of you from the bar last night. If I was looking to get something made, it would be you that I would come to speak to.
For someone your size, I'm the best in town.
Now,
Best in this kingdom, I might say.
I sort of nod my head. I'm not a wealthy man. I'm a priest. Of I don't say of who. I'm a priest to my lord.
Yeah, you have a religion proficiency, so you could make up whatever good
Yeah.
with these. Perhaps craftsmanship.
Perhaps craftsmanship. Yeah, I'll say I'm
chatting up a barman. Armorsmith even.
Armorsmith. But then if he asked me to bless something, I'm fucked.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's a very good point.
Yeah, I don't say what religion
Okay.
or what God. I just say I'm a priest on my travels. However, recently I've fallen on. I don't know. I'm trying to think what I'm going to say to him. I ask him if there's anything he needs help with at all. I appreciate he may not have came across a dwarven priest in some time.
Um, uh, what kind of fetch quest could a blacksmith give me a? Um,
Essentially, what I'm trying to do out of character is I'm trying to. I don't have a lot of gold. I can't really amass a lot of gold at the moment, but I am looking to improve my armor from hide to something metal.
I don't think anything is better than Hyde he's gonna give you
I
for
thought you can have
any.
combat.
He's not gonna have a super quest that's worth 500
No, no,
gold
no.
pieces or
Yeah,
whatever.
this not this. Yeah, this worth a set of plate armor. No, no that. Um,
Um,
but I'm trying to build up something with him so I can. I basically get information through him as well.
okay,
As an armor smith, I'd imagine he would have contacts with other armor smiths and other dwarfs, and I kind of want to get friendly with the other dwarfs in the city.
okay. I mean, yeah, okay. He says, his tools. I mean, he asks what gods you follow. He says it
Uh,
depends what kind of priest you are. You could always use a dwarven priest, but you don't have to
um,
be of craftsmanship.
I'm trying to think what other priests there are that would seem legit for a dwarf.
You could just say like a random dwarf god. You don't have to say specific stuff.
Yeah, I am a priest of the dwarven gods of.
War, perhaps.
Well, I don't want to say war because it seems a bit. Well, actually, he's an armor smith. He'd probably respect that.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah. I'm a god. I'm a priest of war. Um,
says I can see why you'd be looking to improve yourself. Fortunately, uh, oh no, you haven't said you wanted shit from him yet. Never mind.
no, I haven't said that to him.
He says, "Oh
Um,
well, you could certainly be doing with blessing, speaking some words over. It's been a long time. You're correct. It's been a very long time since I've had a priest in the area. I could do with a few prayer sessions if you'd be okay with that, and maybe cast a bless or two over my tools,
I mean,
but nothing.
to say words over tools, would that require an actual spell, or would that just be that would be a ceremony more than anything else,
Yeah,
wouldn't
he's
it?
looking for more ceremony rather than an actual bless, which you can actually
Okay.
cast on an item, but he's not looking for that.
Okay. I'd be happy to. I said I'm new in town. I don't know anyone here. Um, all dwarfs respect craftsmen, especially those of armor and weapons. Um, you seemed like the first person I should come and see.
Says you speak highly of me. For that I'm grateful, but not
Well,
grateful enough to give you plate mail.
um, well, as I said, I'm new in town. I don't know anyone. I asked around when I arrived who's the best dwarven smith in the city, and yours was the name that I had answered many
Glad,
times.
glad my work brings its name for itself. Turns out he's a really shitty armor smith, the brother. The guy he asked
um,
or something. No.
and I'd be happy to say some words over your tools,
Okay,
and
roll
I do.
roll a religion check for me.
Uh, plus my wisdom, yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Yes. 35 nails it.
Yeah, he's crying in the corner over he's such been such a long time since he's heard such words, and you're chanting the correct holy murmurings for dwarves and stuff, and you're recalling he's flashing back to times when he hit his first hammer and his first anvil, and he forged his first war axe, and or I guess wouldn't be war axe, it'd be plate mail or whatever. Yeah, he's yeah, he's very pleased.
I want to ask him where where would be where's the local hangout for dwarves? Not hangout, but you know what I mean. Like, where's the local bar that dwarves tend to hang around in? Or
He says, there's not many dwarfs in the city. Rare of us to come so far from mountains. Few dwarfs that come here are traders mostly. Usually the merry halfling. You died?
yeah, I did. Loading it back up. It's fine.
Okay, yeah, he just says
The merry halfling.
Yeah, that's pretty much all
Um,
the dwarfs that are in the city.
so there is but a handful.
Yeah, I'm afraid so. I make my wealth not just with dwarven armor, but for gnomes, halflings, goblins, smaller, and I'll do larger as well.
Yeah,
There's
if you have
much
the skill,
demand here.
if you have the skill to make dwarven mail for a dwarf, then I'd imagine mail to satisfy a human isn't that much of an issue.
Definitely, it's much
Um,
easier. Humans so badly craftsmen or something.
yeah, I'm trying to flatter him saying that
Yeah,
humans aren't up to scratch. Um,
he's
yeah,
pleased.
I asked him if he could have a quick look over my armor just to ding out any dents, and perhaps I've got a scratch or a
Yeah.
dent in my shield or something.
He says he looks over your armor. He says, "I'm not a leathersmith, but it seems okay to me." But then he looks at your morning star, and he says, yeah, I could give this a few knocks to straighten up a little. I see you've blunted the or whatever, blah blah blah."
Hmm.
But nothing mechanically different, unfortunately.
No. I'm just trying to build up a friendship with
Yeah.
him.
Well,
Um,
you've got that prayer is really
mhm.
enamored himself to you.
So I basically just sit for the afternoon with him and discuss the city, just trying to get up to date information and
Okay, I mean
it's,
he's working away at the forge as you're in there as well.
yeah. I'm not going to wander away without my weapons. So
Oh yeah.
um,
No, I mean he's also working on other stuff after he does your
right,
weapon.
yeah, and I just kind of spend maybe an hour or two with him.
Okay, roll charisma checks to them. I can't believe all your stats are so high.
Not that high.
I mean, there's none below 10, so
That's true. First nails the first one.
yep.
Nails the second one. Boom boom.
Your charisma's 12, isn't it? Yeah.
Oh, so it is. Yes, that's a 31 and a 29.
Yeah, you get along famously with him. He's really enjoying your company. You're talking about,
Cool.
I don't know, dwarf holds or
Yeah.
stuff.
I mean, even though I'm not a craftsman myself, I'd assume as a dwarf I'd have a basic knowledge of
Yeah, all,
craftsmanship.
all dwarfs know, yeah. You'd have been
Basic
apprenticed as
something.
yeah, in your stronghold. You'd have learned some basic stuff as you're growing up. Instead of toys being like,
Yeah, it'd be a hammer and an anvil.
yeah, exactly.
Um,
Baby dwarves playing with them.
well, thank him for his time, and I asked him if there's any other sort of shops of interest or any other people in town that I should perhaps meet as a newcomer.
I mean, he says, since you don't have a lot of money, things are really expensive in this town because of the flow of traffic it gets. Uh, he says that, I mean, there. He says there's some there's a park inside the town which is kind of in the noble district based. He tells you like there's a wee bit you can go and there's a wee cavern system. It's not much.
Hmm.
Appears to be walled up, but if you're ever wanting to spend a wee bit underground, there's a wee place there. He mentions says like there's a nice wee waterfall and shit. But there's nothing specific in town that's interesting about
Dwarven
them.
related.
He says you could always, depending if you enjoy the politics, you could always go listen to the court for a bit. It's always a
Politics
laugh.
isn't really my strong suit. I'm more of a get to the point sort of person, rather than one to listen to intrigue and plots and half truths.
I mean, if you're running a fight, you could always go join some brawling. There's always brawls, bets, wrestling, boxing going on down in the
Mm.
slums. Make some coin, though not Well, it depends how
That could
lucky
be a
you
good
are.
idea.
Yep.
It could be a good idea. I thank him for his time, and I
He thanks you
tell
for
him that
yours. He's very happy to see you. Says you're
I
welcome
tell him
back
that I'll
anytime.
be. Yeah, well, I tell him I'm staying in the halfling. So if he wants to join me for a drink later, then
You're staying in the halfling.
yeah, I'm staying in the halfling. Was it the happy halfling,
The merry
the
halfling.
merry halfling? And sorry, what was his name again?
Durin.
Durin.
Though I'm much regret not calling him Strail.
I'm just taking a note of people of interest. Yeah, I'm staying in the merry halfling. So if he wants to join me for a drink later, I'll be staying there.
Did the halfling who owned the shop have a name?
I don't think he said,
No, okay.
and I didn't ask the dwarfs that were there their name.
That's fine. Just double checking.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, other than the boatsmen, the guys that I came with would have been the only ones to know that my name's actually Thorin. Everyone else knows me as Ragnar.
I mean, yeah, they barely talk to you if they
Yeah,
even remember your name.
but Gabriel might have mentioned it. So, um, so yeah, I just want to head. What sort? So is it sort of midday-ish then? I spent the morning
Yeah,
with
I
him.
mean, yeah, you spent quite a while with Durin, but yeah, it's not.
Good afternoon. Um, I want to go to. I want to wander towards the noble district.
Okay. Um, so the guard presence in this town
Mhm.
is, of course, there's guards on the wall, um, and when you get to like the docks, there's only like a few guards. Seems very much that they just let it happen, and they're not that big a deal about taxing and tariffs in this
Mhm.
town. Um, and then I don't know, you haven't been to the slums yet, but you presume there's very few guards from the pattern you're seeing in the
Mhm.
nobleman's district and I mean, you went to the shopping district. It's kind of place for getting the blacksmith. It's kind of there are more
Mhm.
guards here, and then just when you go to the nobles, there are guards every street. Two guards stand together, just keeping an
Mhm.
eye out. And as you approach, it depends how close you get.
I want to approach one of the guards at the gate, or at the vicinity.
Yeah, they're like leaning up against a post or something. There's nice houses on either side. Yeah, they see you watching, and they're watching you approach.
Um,
Both humans.
I greet them, um, I introduce myself as Ragnar, and I ask them. I tell them I'm coming on business from Lord Gers of Holgate. I have his letter and his seal. Here I was wondering if I could seek an audience with either the commander of the guard or with the lord of this town.
Can I see your seal,
I
sir?
shown the I shown the letter from.
Yeah, it says Thorin on it. By the way.
Yes, yeah, sorry,
No,
yeah,
no.
I knew.
Before you do anything, he opens up. He looks over and he nods and he says, "Yep, be on your way, Ragnar. Whatever your name is."
Yeah, I take it.
And then you realise it says Thorin on it at this point.
But the guard hasn't said anything.
The guard hasn't said anything.
The guard looked skeptical when he read it.
No, he just
So
read it, blasé, and then handed you back.
yeah, I'm gonna pass it off as Ragnar Thorin's son or something like that. I don't know. I'll figure it out. So yeah, I moved toward I would sort of move into the noble district and start having a look around and
Okay.
being reasonably inconspicuous, just sort of wandering through the streets,
Occasionally you see
taking check of
guards, but
things.
no one approaches you as of yet.
I'm assuming I can see like a big central keep over the
Yeah,
houses.
yeah, definitely.
I want to head towards it.
You can head towards it. You head towards it. At this point, another a guard steps out and he says, "Can I see your papers, Lord?"
I show him the papers,
He reads over, it, hands it back to you, and says, "Thank you, sir, for your compliance," and goes about, back off walking.
and I continue on to the keep.
Yep, it's open. The gates are open inside. If you want to go in.
Yeah, I want to walk in and I want to go up to a guard and say,
Yeah, there's two
uh,
soldiers holding spears at the sides.
I don't say my name, but I say I'm here to speak to the lord of this town. I come on business from Holgate. I'm Lord Gers.
He tells you that the Lord is currently receiving um, tributaries. Is that the word?
People offering tribute.
A ruler or nation that pays tribute.
Oh, a vassal state.
Yeah, but no, that's
A vassal.
He's dignitaries. He's receiving
Dignitaries. Okay.
at the moment. And he says, Can you not speak to him at court?"
It's a rather sensitive issue. It's not something to be spoken of in for the public ears. Not yet, at least.
And the guard's like, "Must it be with the Lord?"
Or the commander of the guard. Either or.
Okay, and he says he'll take you to the. He asks you for your letter.
I pass it to him.
He reads it and he says, "Come on this way, Thorin."
And I follow him towards the commander.
Yeah, so he climbs into like a stone building in the left of the courtyard and goes up and inside an office, and the guard's talking to someone. He says, "It's dwarf here's urgent business. It's got the seal of Hillgate of Gersa. Wants to speak to the Lord, but says he could talk to you since as we know." They like look at each other. It's like, yes. On you go, Ron.
Well, the captain. Just to double check. Obviously, captain of the guard would be high ranking as well, wouldn't he?
Definitely.
Yeah.
He'd be like who the Lord speaks to if he wants
something done.
He'll be on personal speaking terms with the Lord.
Right. Okay. I ask him for privacy, just to speak with him alone.
The person who was with him, he leaves.
So it's just me and the captain.
Just you and the captain sitting at a desk. He's got his feet up on the desk.
What does he look like? I'm assuming he's human, but what does he look like?
Yeah, he's human. He's not as in much shape as Gabriel was.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like he doesn't get involved personally and stuff. He's more of a dictator.
Yeah, tells the rest of the troops what to do.
Yeah, moral support. So he's
Commander.
But he's still, he seems like he was a fair soldier in his time. He's probably like 50. He's got silver in his hair.
The letter says that I'm from Ranthic Order, doesn't it? Or does it? I didn't actually read the letter before I started handing it to people.
No, yeah, I guess it would. It'd say like a missionary from the Ranthic Order on purpose of finding Marty and the for justice purposes in regard to tribute. Yeah, so it does.
Okay. Well, I say to him, well, you've read the letter from Lord of Holgate. You know why I'm here.
Do you want to do a manhunt for this person?
No. This is something that needs to be kept as quiet as possible for some time. The person we know to be strong. He overcame one of the tribute wagons on its way to Ranth, and he made off with, we assume, a large quantity of the tribute itself.
He made off with like 100 gold pieces. You'd know that.
I wouldn't know that. All right, okay.
You would know that.
I would know that.
Yeah, it would have been brought up sometime with Gabriel, because he knew how much was missing from there.
Right.
Well,
if it was all melted down, would you notice
he knew how much Martin had on him. He assumes it was from the
right. Okay.
They raided Martin's stuff.
Oh, okay.
For some reason, he was just so charming. 17 charisma.
We believe the villain to have fled through Valwar, and we do not know where he is headed from here, or whether he is still in the city. Have you? I mean,
Put
I
up wanted
describe.
posters. I could, as far as we're aware, there's nothing going on. And he asked you what the devil this man followed or something.
What's it? As a North or
Asmodeus.
Asmodeus. He follows the dark god Asmodeus. He is one not to be trifled with.
There have been dark mutterings of that god of late.
I've heard it too. My God speaks to me, and
No, rant.
he has not revealed his true opinion on the matter, but he's allowed me to continue on this quest to find this Martian and to figure out his intentions, and if Rant be willing to put a stop to it.
Very well. But I do not know what you asked me of.
Well,
I don't think the Lord needs to be burdened with this specific.
no, of course.
knowledge.
I think I have came to the right place by speaking with you. I don't ask for you to begin a manhunt or
Put up wanted
to-
posters, man.
no. This
reward.
needs to be done a lot more subtle. The last thing we want is him to flee again and escape to another city
Very well.
or to escape to another area of the world. This man needs to be stopped, and I believe the easiest way to do that is to set a trap.
How would you go about setting this trap? He's in the city, you say.
Potentially in the city. I know he has.
Left
I know
by
he's came
now.
here. He may well have left by now.
How
but
many
certainly-
days behind are you? Do you know?
I believe to be around 20 days behind him. I do not know specifically. Our boat travelled quickly. His may have travelled quicker. What I would ask is, I can describe him as best I can to you, and certainly notify the guards that we are looking to find this person. And all I need eyes in the city.
If
is
I
what
tell
I'm
the
asking.
guards, I can't promise that it'll be kept secret. Guards aren't known for their quietness and subtlety.
Of course.
I could tell a select few, but you never
Tell the ones
know.
you trust to
I
keep
don't-
their word.
I'm not involved as much with my men. Need like reminisces for a second. These days, so I'm not sure how thorough a secretive search could be.
Hmm. Well, I plan to continue the search on my own. I have already spoken to one contact I have in town, and he is going to be keeping an eye on him. He's got a group of. You probably know him. His name is Hofo, a gnome.
Can't say I've heard the name myself.
Well, he strikes me. There's more to this this gnome than
More than meets the eye. Transformer.
than he chose to put across. He says he's working with others. Whether it's something more detailed than just a group of friends keeping an eye on information, I don't know. But certainly he's keeping an eye on for me down on the docks and in the lower districts of town where the guard presence isn't as high. But if I'm judging this man to be correct, then he's going to seek power in this town, and he's going to seek it, and the power in this town comes from this keep. So,
I can tell you're new here.
the power does not come from this keep.
I cannot say. I cannot speak to this. You'll have to find this out from somewhere else.
Okay. Well, I
Lord
appreciate
is in
any.
charge of the town.
Of course.
Lord,
Of course.
who I have not named.
Appearances are everything. Now, Kit, what is the name of the Lord of Valar?
Da 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 da.
Oh, you have not named him. I thought you were going
Yeah,
to come out with
no,
it's Martian.
No, I haven't named them yet. I'll come up with it later.
All right, no, that's fair enough. Yeah. Appearances
That's
are
funny,
what
though.
appearance.
That'd be great, wouldn't it? He's like, yeah, look for Martin. Oh, Martin, you just came for you.
Well, I ask you for any assistance you can offer, and those men that are trusted to you, let them know that this man can't be trusted. I'm under no illusions that he he, he managed to talk his way out of more than a couple of murders. So
Dangerous
keep your
fellow.
vigilance up. A dangerous fellow indeed. So those you trust, whether they be merchants, whether they be or whether they be guards, let them know that we're looking for this man. And if you hear anything, I will be staying in town at the Merry Hobbit, not the Merry the Merry Halfling. Send word to me there if you hear something.
I'll keep an eye out, Thorin.
And I do ask you for your discretion.
It's gonna be so awkward, like if he finds him and then sends you a message and like, yeah, Thorin at this part. No, okay, bye.
Well, yeah, I'm going to say to him that while I'm in town, I'm going under the name Ragnar,
Interesting.
so as to keep my identity. You know my identity, and one other in the town knows my identity. They don't, but I'm just saying that. And one other knows my identity. You're the person that I'm choosing to trust.
Secret's safe with me for whatever reason you keep it. I guess it's the order.
The order is my life. I seek to serve my God. However, my God has allowed me to continue on this quest for whatever reasons He sees fit. I choose not to question that, so I continue on this journey.
You know, it's if there's anything else I can help you with, be happy to do so. But I have to say, my personal opinion is that, I mean, this is a large city. Though he may appear, he will have to do something for us to find him, I think.
Of
Though
course.
with such an obvious disability, we could have a chance of spotting him in the streets.
Well, I do believe it's his move next. Any knowledge of the city you can provide would be a great help. Who are those with it? Perhaps a list of those with influence within the city, those you trust.
He laughs at that. He shakes his head. Here's the names. Then who need to know names? These are the real powers in the city. Yeah, who would be seen dead with that list?
Any assistance, and also, I'm not a rich man. I'm far from my kingdom. I'm far from the wealth of the holy state of the Ranthic Order. I do not have many resources at my disposal yet. I do plan to gather them, but for that I need coin. Do you know of anything, any work or any potential ventures which may yield reward?
There's always money to be made fighting with the guards on the walls. Attacks are coming pretty regular these days. You probably... So, how long did you say you've been in town?
Until I hear further news, then I'll be here.
No, how long have you been in town so far?
I've been in town for just but a day.
Ah, okay, that'll be why. If you stay another week, it's likely you'll hear the attacks. The wildlands are... Fuck, what's the word for things that aren't peaceful and quiet?
Savage.
It's not savage. It's... the opposite of disquiet? No, it's... whatever.
Yeah.
The wildlands are savage. They're bucking under us. That's not what I want to say. That's annoying. Oh well.
Certainly, if I hear the sounds of battle, I'll be happy to help your men on the walls.
And any loot you find is yours to keep. Though I'd have to hurry, as it's become quite a rush these days.
So on the walls, are they all guards of yours, or is it the common people as well?
I am the commander of all guards in the city, but for the walls we allow any man to take up arms and defend his homeland from the savage outreaches of the wildlands.
And perhaps I may move my lodgings closer to the wall, so I better assist your men and the men on the walls.
They'd be grateful for a mighty priest of war. Do you think that'd be in the lair? Probably not. But I guess they'd be grateful for a battle priest like you.
Well, you can see I'm armed with a shield and a morning star, and I'm saying I'm a priest. I think he can work it out.
You can jump there.
Yeah. I thank him for his time, and I advised that I'll seek an audience with him.
Did he have a name?
If I don't think he gave him one.
Okay, his name's Warden.
Warden.
Lord
Warden.
Commander.
Warden.
Yeah, Lord Commander Warden. Warden.
Warden. I say if I find any information or I require any further assistance, I'll seek another audience with you. And I would ask for your discretion in this venture.
I will be as discreet as I may be.
I thank you, and I get up to leave.
There you go.
With the final word, in fact, I get up to leave with the final word.
Turn around.
I turn around and say, I will seek any further information I can, but I believe the next move lies with Martian. And
is that you want that to be the wrapped up?
It's just an idea of a good way of wrapping it up, I think.
Yeah, I mean,
I'd be heading off, so
yeah, fair enough. Yeah, oh god, that's been an hour long show. Yeah, that's a good spot. Yeah, I didn't realise that. Ah, this is gonna be interesting.
it is.
When can you play next?
Well, I'd imagine Tom can go next, and then
Well, when can you play next? Just
whenever,
Okay.
as long as I get a couple of days' notice, or in this case, 20 minutes' notice, then yeah. I'm pretty much free in the evenings, though.
Okay, that's good. Just interested. To the people at home who actually watch both of these, they'll be knowing, and I know it's very interesting. So, what was it? 18 days behind them here, I think?
I'm about 20. I think about 20 days behind him, depending on what happened with him on the boat. But by my estimate, from when he left to when I left, it's about 20 days.
Okay, that's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, just your job to keep track of it all.
Yeah, no.
Who does who have any? It's gonna become like a whole political intrigue type thing. Who has who in what's pocket?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I just think everything. Yeah, okay. All right, guys, thanks for watching, everyone. That was a fun episode with Thorin. Certainly fucking different from the usual ones. Not so much battle, a lot of RP stuff. I really enjoyed that, actually.
Yeah,
that's quite good. I think I've gotten better at creating the worlds. Any constructive criticism?
Yeah, a lot. I think more development for compared to the first time we played.
Definitely.
The first time we played, it was your first time really DMing. Obviously,
I think it was, right? Oh yeah, Jack had done Jack.
I think Jack went before me, and then I did, and then the other two. But yeah, really good fun. Completely different. I'm trying to. I think because it's a one-on-one campaign, me versus the DM, and I kind of Thomas, I suppose, as well.
Yeah.
I think there's more. It's more appropriate to roleplay more.
I agree.
Whereas when it's the four of us in the big group or 5 of us in the big group, I think it needs to be balanced 50-50. But I think here there's more opportunity for roleplaying.
Yeah. XP wise,
have I leveled up?
You know, of course not. What did you do? You fought toads, I think.
Yeah, I killed a toad.
With other people. Let me just go get toad.
I don't have any XP written on my character sheets.
Yeah, well, this is a new go. So 120 for each toad. There's 4 of them. Divide that by 3.
So 120, 480 divided by 3. Where's my calculator?
160?
Yes, 160.
Who needs calculators and you got a brain?
Yeah.
Individual. Yeah, man, Gabriel tanked a lot of that battle. Player's a clever idea. Player's an idea that saves the party. Player roleplays his character. Player encourages others to participate. Yeah, sure, I'll give you like.
Yeah, I think those categories I don't think quite apply in a solo campaign either.
Yeah, that's true. But I like giving XP for all of them. You can roleplay, encourage each other. Yeah, obviously encourage other to participate. It's not. Clever idea was, I think, just fucking looking into shit and going to all the lords straight away instead of baffling around the low level. Priest, successful use of granted power. Is that fucking
What was the category? Sorry.
pair successful use of a granted power, and then
Oh well, in Cyber Circle Rage
yeah,
three
that's
times.
yeah. Spells cast further ethos, 100 times spell. Hey, you never really did much furthering of war.
No, I agree. If anything, I went further away from it. But
Yeah, I mean
um,
the bless for the battle is like the closest thing for fighting, but I'm gonna give you furthering ethos would be collection of wealth or gaining starting a war. So no, none for them.
well, a collection of wealth. I gained items and assistance from Holgate,
Yeah, yeah,
and
but this is
furthering my
just
own
this is just for
resources.
spells cast for it.
Ah, right,
So
okay.
um yeah, I think so. You've got 160. I think I'll give you 1,000 XP.
In total.
But you need 250 to level up, right? No, priest only needs hardly any, right?
Yeah, priest's pretty. I think rogue's lowest, but I think priest's pretty low as
I
well.
think druids are the only ones lower. Parent directory, A&D books, dungeon master table, priest is 1,500 to level up. Holy fuck, that's really low.
Hmm.
Okay, you level up.
Yeah,
Yeah, gonna say you level up.
hell,
Well,
it's up to
no,
you. Well,
1,500. You level up next time. You get 1,000 XP.
well, can we? What we? I don't know. It's up to you. Obviously, it's your campaign. I think with solo campaign, are we going to do? So if I have some massive moment mid session next time,
Well, we certainly do it mid-session. Yeah, definitely.
we could do it mid session.
Yeah, so you're 1,000. So if you have a fight mid-session or you do some sort of quest where you get 500 XP for mid doing it, accomplishing it. Say you get a major clue in Martian or you gain some major wealth.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'll certainly give you 500. Though, if you end up getting a fight involved in the wall, which I presume you will, it's going to be fucking difficult because it'll be like, oh, 7,000 XP divided by 49 people who were fighting or whatever.
Oh, I think I'm going to cut out again.
Yeah, I think you just died. Well,
Whatever
that's a
reason.
good place
Oh
to end it.
no.
There, you've got your lovely
Yeah,
cute face there. That was
yeah.
fun.
I'm gonna have to try and sort Google Chrome for next time.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it's
Uh,
pretty okay. It does it like every hour, so that's. I mean, it's bad, but
yeah, it's really bad.
once an
That
hour
shouldn't
is
happen.
it's
Deal
pretty
it.
easy to deal
If
around with it.
anything, it's a good time to break anyway.
Yeah. So thank you everyone for watching. I guess see my goodbye staring at the camera this time. Yeah, join us next time for episode 2, whenever that'll be, and we'll see how. I can't wait to see how Tom reacts after he watches this. I hope he gets to watch it soon. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks very much.
Any shout outs, anything?
Yeah, you can follow me on Twitter. I've not really tweeted in a while, but you can follow me on Twitter if you want. At Ali1191. And yeah, watch us at Gilmaris on YouTube.
D&D Theras over there.
D&D Theras for me, Ross, Tom, and Johan, and Jack play AD&D, and I'm enjoying the story with Jack as well. It's nice to do something slightly different as well with Ross.
And at least you get to play a lot more in my campaign since I'm available more than 4 or 5 people.
Yeah, exactly. That's the good thing about playing a one-on-one campaign. Even though it's kind of a two-player campaign with me and Tom sort of doing it in synchronicity, but synchronized gaming.
Yeah.
But yeah, because we can do it as and when we're both free, rather than waiting for everyone.
Yeah, and I'm always free because it's spring break. Woohoo! Okay.
Spring break. Woo. Yeah.
Bye everyone. Thanks for watching.
Bye bye.